Good morning, good morning, good morning. SeeJeanty, Chris Jeanty. We are here on this 10th September. Yeah, we're a little late. Yeah, you know how we do it. I gotta put on for my Caribbean folks. We gotta. I like folks. If I told folks I'd be on at 8 and I'm really here at 8, I think most folks wouldn't even know what to do themselves. You understand? But we here, and we're gonna have an equally good conversation. Regardless, it's gonna be impactful. But it's gonna be insightful. We're gonna have lots to talk. Again, we've been away for so long. There's just a lot of current events to dive into. And this episode, more than any other episode coming before it, is gonna be really. We're gonna really dig into the Biden program, and in particular, it's gonna be an exploration on personal experience. We've had conversations before with it where the the concept was just to kind of get the information out there. I want to give a shout out to Tammy, who is someone who has come on the program previously and really provide a lot of insight as an attorney, and it was really been helpful from that perspective. But this episode is really about it's going to be about myself talking about the experience I had, and then on the second half we're going to have an incredible guest. We have a guest, Sammy Lammy, who rose off the tongue, right? Sammy Lammy, who is going to be on, and he's doing some really great stuff in the Biden space. He has a staffing company that is working exclusively with Biden applicants and doing some really great stuff, really interesting stuff. I thought it will be a great compliment to have him on because he's actively looking for Biden applicants, and I think there's a lot of folks who have family, who have friends, who have cousins, who have associates, and I think having someone like Sammy on, and having someone like Sammy on to connect with is going to be really helpful. And he's doing some really great community work on top of the fact that he's very high up in the NAAHP. And so he's going to be on later in the program. But in any case, you know how we do it here. I need a minute or two to kind of take care of the background, take care of the back end. So let's give me that minute. I'm going to share. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys enjoy a bit of some quality footage from the sky of our beautiful, beautiful country, right? And we'll be right back. We'll be right back. All right. Yes, yes. And just like that, we are officially back online. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I could even stream on LinkedIn if I wanted to, but your boy ain't on there right now. But we'll be back on there at some point. TikTok, I gotta get my TikTok count. I'm short like 130 subs, man. I gotta get active on the TikToks. I gotta start doing some dances, guys. Do the nay. I don't know what the kids are doing these days. I don't know. Don't judge me. I gotta get my TikTok count up, man. Like this week, I'll focus on some TikToks. I'll do some new, weird, different stuff just to get 130 subs. I'll be working on that. Then I never do that again. I delete them too. What's up? Today is a 10th of September. We got a lot to talk about. We're here today. I want to welcome folks in. I want to say what's up to a few folks in the chat real quick. LF, good morning. Brian Patterson, good morning. Life in Marie, good morning. Life in Haiti. I said Life in Marie. Life in Haiti, good morning. Life in Haiti with Marie, good morning. Definitely do check out her channel. She's doing some really great work, great stuff. Happy to have her on the channel. And those who are on IG, say what's up. Don't be shy. Don't be a looky loo. Say what's up. We got Girl Talk TV, officially from Naples. What's up? Do drop a comment. Say good morning. Nice to have you guys in. So yeah, today we're lots going on in the world. With Haiti, and of course the fact that if you guys want to catch up with where your boy's been, what's been happening, do check out at least that first live I did about 2 weeks ago. It really gave an update on things. In fact, I'm quite honest with you guys. I'm a bit surprised I'm even here with the wife duel any moment now. The wife duel any moment now. I could go missing for another couple of weeks at least any moment now. So that's going to happen, right? But in the meantime, nous profiter and get some information out, profiter to have some conversations that are topical, that are needed, that are absolutely necessary, right? So here we are, right? I just want to go through the top of the hour stuff real quick. Of course, the conversation today is going to be on the Biden program. We're going to have a fantastic guest and Sammy Lammy on. Really looking forward to have him on, and the staffing, some of the things he's doing in the staffing realm, specifically targeted at Biden applicants. So that's going to be fantastic to have. But just top of the hour stuff per usual, right? You see it in the background. Simple Sign, you see it. It's a brand that hyper distribution company that has been founded by the Haitian diaspora to do its part to export products en masse in Haiti, out of Haiti to the United States and eventually to the world. In fact, we're trying to dabble in Canada and seeing what we can do to finally get that line going. By the way, right now I can tell it's very expensive. And you guys who are currently exporting to Canada, I got to hit me up because I am not liking the process. But right now, you can go on Amazon. We'll drop the link in a moment. Jonjo quality. I'm gonna put this up to the camera. Quality Jonjo. Quality. A1, right? A1. Clean Jonjo. You can find it right now on Amazon. It's one of our biggest movers. A lot of folks are loving this Jonjo. Folks are rebuying it in mass. We got I think this week, finally this week, D Sheila is going to be hitting the Amazon warehouse, right? It's going to be hitting the Amazon warehouse. And finally, you guys, already folks have pre-ordered it. I got like almost a dozen D Sheila pre-ordered right now. And so that's going to be available. And I trust me, I've taken a case. I wrote off a case just so I can have a bunch myself. I'm killing these. These are the real deal. Has that earthy, raw flavor that you can tell you're eating nutrients. You can tell you're eating just raw nutrients in this thing. It's a real deal. We're working with, and what's so great again with us is we're working with producers directly out of Haiti to get these products to us, right? Cassava, right? We did an episode on this actually. Last time I was in Cap Haitian, I went to one of the ateliers that we work with. And these are great women, who are producing these things, and we get them out of Cap Haitian, we bring them to Port-au-Prince, and then we ship them out We package them, put our labels on them, right? So these are actually, I'm particularly proud of the cassava because unlike other things we do where we kind of purchase from suppliers downstream, we're pretty upstream with the cassava. And so, do check it out. And again, it's very popular. In fact, I have a shipment coming in tomorrow, and it's already sold out. I have a container's worth of cassava, and it's already sold out. We're working with we're going to be working with a new producer really quick really soon. That's actually going to be industrializing. We're still going to be working with the producers we have out of Haitian, just so you know. But we're working with another group that basically is industrialized cassava production. And I look forward to the next time in Haiti actually doing a SeeJeanty highlight on what they're doing specifically. And so what's going to be so great about this is it's going to allow me to actually keep up with the demand we're having with the cassava, because right now the paysans and the ateliers that I'm working with, they're very informal. I send thousands of dollars to them. They produce as quickly as they can, and then get it back to me. But it's not. Listen, when you're running a business and the business is growing, and folks are loving the product, you want to scale, you want to grow. It's not necessarily scalable, and that's something we got to talk about. Honestly, we got to do an episode just on the agricultural aspect of Haiti and so much. I mean, I know there's a big push. A lot of us, want the paysan to be successful, want to go to that source and work with the small farmer. But then on this side, again, most folks who push this aren't business people. They're one step away from tree hugging, vegan eating, earthly people. And listen, and I don't mean any of that as a pejorative. I really don't. I'm just saying on the other side, there's business to be done, right? And business depends on consistency, scalability, and capacity. And our paysans can't do it. They can't. I'm sorry, they can't. And so a mix, though, a mix where I can buy. My goal with Simple Science is to buy as much as we can directly from the paysan. The paysan can only give us so much, especially since they're the ateliers, for example, I work with the cassava. It's a very important tangent because it talks about some of the greater systematic issues that exist with Haiti, and we got to be able to overcome it to get Haiti to where it needs to be. Let me take a look at the chat, make sure where. Oh, drop the link. Oh, my bad. Let me drop the link. Sorry, guys. Let me drop the link. You can get that. And this link I'm going to give you is Hypro, is Amazon. It's an Amazon link. And guys who are watching on Instagram, if you go to my profile, the very first thumbnail is the cassava, by the way. And that cassava will lead you to Amazon, which will lead you to all the other products we sell. Just and so the issue with us getting to for where we need to be to there, we got to be able to get the paysan, to be able to do more. The paysan, the atelier we work with, they are buying mayoc. Mayoc is the potato root. It's like a root that the cassava is made out of, right? They have to go and they're buying it on the open market, right? Wherever they can find it in the north. And the problem is mayoc, it's an agricultural product, meaning it's planted in the ground, it has to be grown, it takes time, and it's seasonal. You can't grow it 24/7, 365 days a year. There's particular periods. There's two particular periods where it grows best, and it's typically during our dry season. Mayoc doesn't like moisture into that level. It doesn't like when I say constant, like just constant water falling, because anybody who's lived in Haiti knows our rainy season is rainy. I'm talking about every single day, damn near monsoon-like rains, right? Mayocs can't grow in those conditions. They like dryness. They like little water, and that's how they grow, and they grow their best. And so that means there's a seasonality to it. And these folks are going out to the open market when it's available. They don't really usually have the capital to stockpile, right? And so when I need my demands year round, there's folks who want their cassava. They're not waiting. They're not waiting for the seasonality, right? And so it's great to be able to work with a producer that is more formal. They have a factory. I say factory. I have actually covered warehouse. And what's best is they actually have hundreds of hectares of land dedicated to mayoc production. In addition, they stockpile year round. They stockpile. They have a big stockpile. They dry them. They keep them around in a condition ready to be used when the demand hits. working with a much more formal entity. Now, a lot of folks don't like these industrial, capitalistic, big entities, but they say, what do you want me to do? I got folks who are frustrated because I can't get the cassava to it when they need it. Listen, I don't know last time when you had a craving, but if you go to 7-Eleven and you can't find that particular product, chances are your brain is going to reconfigure itself to not care about that product anymore, right? But again, I think there's right ways to do things, and we're always going to be doing here at SeeJeanty. We're always going to be doing things as right as possible, as right as the capacity allows us to do. And so we are going to continue to work with our paysans and ensure that as much we're going to keep them busy. But at the same time, too, I don't want Simple Science and cassava to be in Walmart. I said Walmart, right? And there's no way this is going to be in Walmart, if I don't partner with the right players to get us there, right? In addition, we got boule chocolat. We got boule chocolat, bon boule chocolat, sans graisse. Nous c'est toute graisse cacao. Toute graisse cacao retiré la donne, toute net, okay? None of that grease stuff, guys. Just that pure raw, boule chocolat, direct out of Haiti. Doing very well, by the way. Doing very well. I'm surprised, quite frankly. I thought I get a lot more complaints of the chocolate melting, when it gets to sits in somebody's mailbox. But it's actually doing very well. And of course, you got Haitian black castor oil. You can actually get this wholesale from our website if you're interested. You sell that by the case. If you're so interested and so inclined, again, I just dropped the link in the chat. If you're interested, do go check that out. Right. We also, real quick, I just gotta jump on that really quick. The SeeJeanty shop. You can actually, a lot of the stuff I talked about, you can hit that up there, SeeJeanty shop, and also 101 ways to make money. Don't forget this book. Right, a lot of the fantastic players I talk about in this book are still active. In fact, let me take a look at something. I want to see something. Let me go into the chapter, right? Because in this book we divvy up a lot of the topics by category: entertainment, waste, apparel, food, personal care, child care, education, transportation, electricity, health and wellness, finance, internet and IT. Other ideas. This book, again, I didn't even say the title, 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti, lucrative business ideas, insightful success stories, and interesting business opportunities for visionary entrepreneurs. And in particular, what I want to do is I want to go in that food section, right? And there's one particular section I really want to see something. I really want to see. And that is, let's see here. Did I include that? Did I include that in there? I don't think. Wow, look at that. There it is. See? Oh, wait a minute. Do I not remember what I wrote? Let me jump to that page really quick. This is the reason why I'm doing this, guys. By the way, trust me. Just stay with me. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. All right. Trust the process. And oh my goodness. You know what I was trying to do? I saw my boy Remy Tiflis in the house. And I swore to God, because I got two different examples in here. Because one of the things we do in this book, we actually have real case studies of entrepreneurs doing fantastic things. And I swore I had my boy Cafe Lux, Remy Tiflis in the house here. But I tell you what, in version 2, Remy, trust me, we got to do a version 2. This book is, when did this book come out? I already forgot. It's been like three years maybe. In version 2, or in the next edition, I think that's how you term it in when it comes to books. We're gonna have our boy Remy in there. That's right. So check that book out. It's out. It's available right now on Amazon. Let me drop the link for you guys. Those who may be interested. SeeJeanty. You can find it SeeJeanty.com/shop, and you'll grab it. And of course the private WhatsApp group. The private WhatsApp group is a place that exists where it's really our private Patreon. It's a place that, if you like what we got going on here, you want to support. And it's not, a lot of the content you see. I have staff in Haiti, and what you contribute goes to paying what they do. And listen, look around here. I got this real expensive mic. This was not easy. Oh, you know what? Excuse me, guys. I didn't even my lights. I haven't got my lights set up. Hold on. See, it's a one-man show. You forget, see, got the lights going on in the background there. it's not a cheap setup, right? And the Patreon goes to supporting that. So I would certainly appreciate anyone and everyone who comes part of it. And of course, it's a community we have in there, and we all help each other and what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do things. So do consider being part of it. And of course, hyperdistribution.com. That's what really kept me, away from media for so long. And honestly, what has me here in the States pushing that. But of course, we'll be back in Haiti in 2024, God willing, because a lot of the business has reached a stable spot, and we're looking to build it out appropriately and really go deeper in the supply chain when it comes to Haiti. So I'll be in Haiti more, and of course, content will be returning in its fullness and richness that you may be used to. So look out for that. And of course, bien rapide, pour moun qui ka rentre pi tard, une raison que nous fait ça en anglais, c'est pour moun du monde qui a bien comprendre et qui ça qui a fait dans le pays et pour moun du monde qui a comprendre exactement et que nous-mêmes comme haïtiens nous avons plus pour nous offrir que ça y a montré sur CNN, sur Fox News et etc. Et c'est pour la raison que nous faisons l'anglais pour une compréhension et universelle, mais bien sûr, nous peut dire une quantité d'audience là qui est native haïtien, bien sûr, c'est ça. Mais le langage là, il saute et pas, il va sauter dans l'élitisme parce que nous avons ça en pile et nous avons pile du nègre qui sous créole là, regarder créole là avec un yeux manque respect, qui manque respect. Mais c'est pas un problème ça nous gagne sous bord ça là. C'est simplement nous avons une mission pour nous éduquer un groupe et puis international et tout. Bon, on va dire ça tout parce qu'il y a plein d'Haïtiens qui parlent anglais, des préférences. Et so pour des raisons ça et nous fait le langage là. Et but c'est pas pour quelle autre raison que ça nous a plus respect pour que là et j'aime je dis les gens autre monde qui a fait ça m'a fait là et dans l'anglais à 100%. Je suis bien content pour faire toute émission moi dans cœur là parce que Ket n'a bien content de become a meme king, just like the other guy. God damn, what's his name? I'll get his name and I'll reference it better next time. So just want to give a quick subtitle. What you call that? When you advisory, yeah, I guess an advisory in English, in Creole, real quick to say number love and respect for Creole, but we just have a bigger mission to do here. And then let me just jump in the chats real quick. Say one quick final shout out to the folks who dropped some comments. You got G Archer in the house, DPR Records in the house. We got Rizland in the house. James Lubin, what's up? The veteran James Lubin in the house. Jacko Red in the house. What's up? What's up? We have Alina. What's up? What's up? Of course, Remy gave Remy his what's ups. We got Johnny Blaze in the house. We got Robin Mojo in the hizzo. And we have, let's see, we got Caribbean Malcolm in the house. What's up? Happy to have you guys. Good morning for the folks over there in IG. So let's jump into the meat and potatoes of it because I don't want to have Sammy in the lobby for too long. Let's talk about my buying experience. So in June, so let's go back a little further. Of course, the Biden program came out earlier this year, became active, right? And I'll be honest. When it first came out, I honestly thought it was a gimmick just to slow down the amount of folks coming through the border. Because I remember a few months into Biden's presidency, we had not just Haitians, we had Venezuelans, we had a lot of different groups coming in mass to the border, and it was announced. Biden announced, "Hey, listen, stop coming to the border. Stop it. Don't come to the border. Instead, we're going to open up this process, this parolee process for folks. Use that process instead, okay? And through this process, you'll be able to come here temporarily, right? on a work program, and you can make income and then head back, right? It became active in early January. Could have been actually sooner, right? Let me get the official date. Let me get the official date on the SeeJeanty program, right? Official date was, let's see, but much sooner, actually, much sooner, right? I think Jan 6, beginning, yep, Jan 6, yeah, early January. You folks could put applications in, right? And then it would be reviewed. It would be reviewed by a live person within the Department of Border Protection, particularly the USCIS, United States. What does USCIS stand for? Let's take a look. US United States USCIS. Yep, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Someone within that department would look at your application. Okay, and they promised, they made a bold admission that 20,000 people would be let in the program a month, right? At least 20,000 people. Now, bear in mind, in this program, the CHNV, C meant was for Cubans, H was for Haitians, N was for Nicaraguans, and V was for Venezuelans. So the 20,000 quota would be shared across, these different groups, right? And quite frankly, when I remember distinctly hearing about it, I was like, this is another gimmick, that isn't gonna, affect anyone, and I just kind of let it go. But then lo and behold, this that was the first, January 6th is basically the first week, right? Or maybe second week of January. So about the third week, not even the third week, but a couple of days. Remember, the program started January 26th, right? January 6th. Literally in a couple of days, my TikTok, okay, my Instagram, I'm seeing folks coming into the country left and right, and reunions and stuff. I'm gonna go, wait a minute, what's going on? And then of course I see someone who I knew was in particularly tough situations. In fact, we interviewed this individual who many years ago was actually deported back, okay, and was back in America, okay, because his kids and daughters and whole family was like, and actually came back, okay, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, this is and thank you, ML Art. This is the 30K. For some reason, I recall 20K when it first started. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This thing is the real deal. If not only do I'm seeing, regular folks, seeing even deportees are able to get back on. Hold on. And so literally January 13th, it's January 13th. So 6 plus 13, was that 5 days? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So about a full week. Within a full week, this cynic got convinced that this program actually works. And I put my application in on the 13th, okay, for someone who is really close to me and my wife, someone who's phenomenal. She's actually a family member, but she actually worked within our home when I was in Haiti. She worked within our home, took care of the home. She was, I guess, our home is. I called her our home administrator. She was the home general. Home, inspector general. The home general. Took care of the food, took care of maintenance, cleaning, the whole nine. Of course, phenomenal woman, kind woman. In fact, this person, she used to be the home help for ambassadors. I'm not kidding. I think it was the ambassador Chilean, and she worked for the embassy within the ambassador personally for the ambassador. I think it was Chile for a time. And so this woman really, I'm talking. And in fact, we just had a little get together yesterday, and every single person in there who ate her food was like, "Man, Chris, if we knew what she was working with, we would have applied for her." Damn it. We didn't know. right? So we applied for her because with right now with building a family, and your boy being a businessman, it's tricky being at home, and also trying to eventually getting back to media content. One in fact, that's to be quite honest with you guys, one of the reasons why I'm able to do what I do now, meaning I'm able to come back to SeeJeanty Media, okay, with a growing family and growing business responsibilities, is because this person now is here helping the wife and helping the home and home administrating at home for me, right? So just full disclosure, that's what really happened, right? That's why your boy's back after such a long pause, right? And I foresaw this. I foresaw if she could get here, it would help me and help my wife tremendously, right? Now, you guys may have other reasons to why some folks you want to bring them in. I would advise probably the first tip I would give anyone. Okay, and this is really an opportunity to share tips. Okay, you know, I'd say really understand, because here's the thing with the Biden program, you're not limited to one person. I've heard stories, I've heard anecdotes of folks applying for up to 5 people, and I think that might be the limit. Actually, I believe the limit may be 5. Please correct me in the chat, please, but I believe you may have a limit up to 5. And even that 5, I don't understand really the mix between adults and children. Perhaps Sammy, if Sammy's listening, when Sammy comes on, we'll ask him if there's a limit, if he's aware of that. In fact, let me put a little note when I get Sammy on camera. We can ask him that question if he's aware. Let me jot that down. Max limit per person to apply, because what a big driving factor. So let me take a step back. Well, actually, not mix too many things. A big factor is your capacity to take care of the person, because the Parody program says where you, the person applying, you have an obligation to take care of this person, and to be able to take care of this person, you have to be in a financially okay situation. What that means, there isn't necessarily a hard guideline, except that you have to be a multiple above the poverty line, right? You have to be a certain distance away from the poverty line, and in America, it's about anywhere between about 18 to 23,000. It's some number in between there, 18 and 23,000, right? And so you have to be certainly above it, and the further away you are from it helps the person you're trying to bring in, and it helps especially in the case where you're trying to bring multiple people. So my first tip really would be, at the limit that you may have, if it's 5, right? Try to see if you can have someone who can really come and help your situation. Really, if you're a business person, maybe bring somebody who can help you in your business, who's maybe strategic or heck is a hard worker. Think about that. In addition to just helping the person who needs the help, right? I know in our family we have cousins who, the breadwinner for one reason or another isn't in the home anymore. They have multiple kids. We would love to get that person here to get them assistance, and then give that person the opportunity to work and help support their kids. And so, the reasons to why you can bring somebody is many, but I would stress, try to bring someone who can really, you can integrate. And besides, the more you can integrate somebody in your life, and integrate them in a way they can make money and also help you, it's a win-win. I'm all about win-win, right? And so that's probably the first tip I'd give you. I know there's been stories where somebody comes from the Biden program, and the moment they come here, they don't want to do any work. They sit on the couch. They're not doing anything to help them in the house. They're a burden, right? But the reality is, you knew they were a burden before they as soon as they called you up, cousin, oui, d'aller go programme where the Biden program, they got appliqué pour moi. The moment that came out of their mouth, you knew. You're like, ooh, but you don't do nothing. You don't have any. It's not the issue of Haiti. That's the issue. you're just a good for nothing. You have cousins who, despite the hardships in Haiti, they're hustling. Am I right? You know this. You got cousins. You got the cousins who are hustlers, who are out every single day despite the difficulties of Haiti, and they still end up making a couple good to bring back home. And then you have other cousins who are as useless as any stereotype youngster here in America who just wants to play video games and chill on the corner. And when that cousin calls you up, you knew from the beginning that cousin wasn't gonna be doing much. So just sometimes you got to push back and say, well, do you really, And so that's really one of the first tips I'd give you. But so let's go back to the program. Some of the things they're going to ask you when you apply will be, of course, your assets. Do you own a home? They would ask about your bank account. You got to provide a statement from the bank. And most banks, I have Chase. I can't speak to any other bank, but most banks should have something where it's from them that provides a history of your checking account and our savings account, and shows how much money you've had in the bank over the past 12 months on average, right? And so having that can be extremely important, right? Having a high balance, that's why maybe sharing a savings account would be particularly good, because on the checking accounts, the point is to have money in and out, right? Having a savings account that has decent income in there. What else did they ask? They asked for your checking. Proof of. So it's not just showing your income, i.e., showing a pay stub or something, right? It's helpful if you can also provide multiple years of W-2s or prior income tax, right? At least 2 years, going back 2 years at least. That shows, again, the level of income is consistent. Alternatively, too, and these are all alternatives. There's none of these are okay. Is this, and this? Whatever you have, and as much of these as you have, you should include. It's going to help improve your chances considerably. Is a letter from your employer. A letter from your employer that says, this is what the person makes. For example, when you first get a job, you get an offer letter, right? And the offer letter, that include that. But also there's more formal letters that you can also include that specifically it just states, hey, this is the person, your name, here's what they make, here's their title, here's how long they've been working here, so nothing too crazy, on a formal company letterhead, and so those are things you're going to need to apply. And of course, on the other side, the person is going to need a passport. And that was a big issue for a long time for a lot of Haitians. A lot of them didn't have a passport, or their passport expired. And so we saw the images when folks really realized this Biden program was the real deal. Like, people were actually coming through. Like, I remember around January 13, it was just a scene from The Walking Dead, or where folks were just climbing the walls of the immigration passport center in Haiti to get a passport, because the person applying for must have a passport, because that's one of the things they actually will ask you to. You can't finish the application process without showing their passport, right? And so, fortunately for me, the person had a passport. It wasn't expired as well, and so that was able to be provided. And so we put the process in January 13. I knocked it out one day, knocked it out. And then from January 13 until early June, over 6 months, there was a rumor, understanding, though it was expressed. And so I'm sorry, it was expressed that from the USCIS that their goal was within 3 months to have reviewed your application, right? And so I was expecting in 3 months I would have a decision, yes or no, yes or no. And so when it didn't hit, I can tell you, I lost a bit of hope. I was like, oh man, this, again, the cynicism came back. Man, I knew it, man. I knew it, man. I ain't even tripping. You know, I honestly, after 3 month mark, I'll be honest with you, I stopped looking. I stopped logging in. I totally forgot about it. Right. And quite frankly, when it was finally enabled in June, in actuality, it was over 2 weeks that they made a decision, and we were good. But for 2 weeks, I didn't bother to log in because, quite frankly, I lost hope. So, by the way, tip number 2: don't lose hope. That's the second tip I can give you. You know, you're part of this Biden program, you know, application process. Don't lose hope. You know, keep the hope alive. Check every week, because that's 2 weeks where this person could have been with us sooner if I was on top of it, right? So number 2, don't lose hope. Okay. And so while we're waiting, though, you know, there's folks who are advising, whispering our ear, you know, Chris, what you should do, you should reapply. Like, what do you mean reapply? Yeah, but you put a second application in, duplicate application. Fortunately for me, I had you know, our good friend Tammy, a lawyer who's been on, and we've done lives with her before. And she was able to I asked her straight up, hey, should we do it? And he said straight up, don't do it, right? Because it's they've expressed, I want to say USCIS expressed that that's not something that they personally feel folks should be doing. And if folks do it, they may start canceling applications. And guess what? Maybe like a week after that, where I started asking, considering it, USCIS came out and said, listen, we're actually going through our database. And if we see people with 2 applications in, we are going to deny both. And we're not even going to look and see if the person qualified or not. We're just going to deny both, because you should not be, you know, cluttering our system with multiple applications, right? So glad we didn't do that. So you don't do that. But let me tell you a little secret. Let me tell you a little secret. You ready for this secret? So you shouldn't do a duplicate application, right? What does that mean? The same person applying for the same person twice, right? Don't do that. But what I've heard has helped, and your boy may or may not have done it. Okay. Have someone who you know is well off put the first application in, right? And depending on the speed of which it's going, okay, say you're past 3 month mark, there's been instances where you can have a second different person, a sponsor, apply for that person in Haiti. So now the person in Haiti has 2 sponsors effectively, right? I've heard, and perhaps your boy may have personal experience, I won't even say that, I won't refer one way or another, that has worked, right? Because on the profile of that person suddenly seems to be a lot less likely to be a burden of the state, right? Because the whole point of this is, you know, these people coming in, the state being the U.S. government, doesn't want these people to be burdens. They don't want them to be, you know, coming in, taking resources, not working, not returning, not being part of the economic system. And so if they have 2 well-off sponsors, right, then that is a much more likely scenario where, you know, the person can come in and it won't be a burden. And so that's my understanding of why it's worked for a few folks. And so that's perhaps something I could share, you know, to maybe think about, right? If you're on month 4, month 5, nothing's moving, see if there's someone else in your circle who is well off, who could apply for the same person. It may work, right? I haven't heard anything negative about this process happening, right? It may work. Okay. And so now really quick, again, I hate that we're keeping Sammy off, you know, but I want to talk about now what happens after. And this is can be a great transition for our guest Sammy to come on and start talking to us. So my experience after has been really so this fantastic woman who applied, we got in here. She's older. She's over 60. Okay. And Oh, I'm on my Wi-Fi. Okay. Well, internet connection's doing looking fine, so I'll leave it. Oh, excuse me. um, so she's older. Okay. She's older. And so healthcare is really important, right? And so right away, we wanted to get her some healthcare. And the best in terms of cost healthcare you can get for someone who doesn't have a job is Obamacare, right? And so I want to get her Obamacare, but to get her on Obamacare, um, you have to have a social security, right? Social security number, right? And so, you have two ways to get the social security number once the person comes through, right? The first is either you apply for a work permit, right? You apply for a work permit, okay? The work permit, you can do it online or um, uh, through by printing it out, signing it, and sending it out, right? And you can find the link. Just literally, what I did, I just literally, work permit for CHNV, and then the first link will take you to where you need to go, and you can print out the document. And then there's a cost associated with that, though. You have to know it's around $400 and some change. It's around $400 and some change. It's FYI. There is a cost associated with that. Okay. And that's one way to get it. It can take it can take 2-ish months. From what I'm hearing, 2-ish months, maybe 3 max to get that. So for 2-3 months, the person officially shouldn't be working legally. Legally, the person's not allowed to work. But you get a social at that point after that 2-3 months, and then the person can start working. Okay. Alternatively, this is what can surprise a lot of people, right? You can have that person apply through the Department of Children and Families, or Department of DCF, the Department of Children and Families, in the state of Florida. It may be something different in another state, because it's administered by the state, even though the federal government assists in some of these costs. And through that, you can get this person can get on Medicaid. This person can get cash assistance, which typically I'm hearing is about $800 cash, and then also food stamps. The person get on food stamps. Now your thought, my process would be like, wait a minute, Chris, hold on, wait a minute. If you're doing the parolee program and you're a sponsor and you're basically telling the government, hey, government, you're going to provide this person on the, is this person really able to get food stamps and really able to get this other stuff? And legally, yes. Legally, yes. What has been established in the courts, because actually there's been instances where the state, when I say state, literally a state, like state of Michigan, right, has gone after an immigrant using a parolee program. This isn't the first parolee program, by the way. There's been other parolee programs, right? In fact, this is a subvariant of a larger parolee program that's existed, right? This is like the main one was like called DF, and this is like DFA or something, right? As an example, right? And in the prior program, which by the way had legal language that was even more precise when it comes to the responsibility of the sponsor, courts have ruled, and this happened twice, where the state sued, and the courts ruled that in actuality, the contract that you're making it with as a sponsor to the parolee, in actuality, isn't legally binding. I'm gonna say it again. It's a little weird, right? They make you go through all this process where you show income, you're showing this, you're showing you're able, you can take care. But in actuality, what you're doing, what you're stating with the U.S. government is actually a moral obligation. It's a moral obligation that you're saying that, what, morally, Mr. Uncle Sam, I promise, heart, hand on my heart, I promise that I will take care of this person. I can show you I got the means, and I promise to, but there isn't any legal requirement to, right? And this is why, you go to your local, DCF office right now, and you'll see the majority of people online are Haitians from the Biden program. and they're getting assistance. They're getting Medicare. They're getting food stamps. They're getting cash, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because it's legal, right? Now, I've spoken with some immigration attorneys, and they said this, and you be careful because if a pathway ever exists, right now there isn't a pathway, but a pathway ever exists for these parolees to become residents, you have to be aware you're hurting their chances because one of the things they look at is, are you the person applying a burden to the state, right? And have you ever taken public assistance, right? And if you have, it could significantly hurt that person's ability to become a resident if in the future that becomes a thing. As of today, which is September 10th, 2023, there isn't a pathway. Technically, whether they take public assistance or not, 2 years from now, they got to leave. Okay? They got to leave. All right? Just FYI. I mentioned this second process in particular because it is another way to get a social security number. You get a social security number by either applying for a work permit or going through DCF, applying for public assistance, and you'll get a social security number through there, right? My understanding is that both are taking about 2 months, to be quite honest with you. There isn't necessarily one faster than the other, but those are 2 ways to get a social security number. Okay. And then from with the social, then you can apply for Obamacare. If the person's working, they can pay their own premium. If they're not working, you're gonna have to pay their premium for them. But at least they'll have health care. They'll have insurance to go and check up. And our home help, our person that applied, she had diabetes, so it's really important that she gets health care so she could get medicine and things of that sort. Right. And so the process, by the way, for DCF, my understanding, it's long, arduous process. You got to go between DCF and then Social Security. But at least you can apply online. You can apply online to get the process started. When you get something in the mail, you are eventually gonna have to go to DCF. The lines are terribly long, right? We're talking like you can be in there for hours. It is bad. I mean, you think the DMV is bad. It is bad. Again, I have folks with Biden applicants who've done it express to me just how bad it is. I actually, just for the sake of understanding the process better, I actually went into one just to kind of see. And first off, the line was to the door. The first time I went by, the second time I went by, I didn't see a line to the door. I walked in, but the line just wrapped it. It's so inhumane too. They're very much, having folks stand. There ain't any chairs in there. And it's like, geez, they treat folks so bad. Very inhumane because they're immigrants, because they're asylum seekers. But yeah, so that's the post process, right? Technically, is what you should know that there's a requirement to you have to get a shot. There's a particular vaccine that you have to they want you to take. And you got to provide proof that you've taken it. Unfortunately, I don't recall which vaccine it is. That's not COVID or anything like that. Don't worry about that, guys. But it's one of those standard, vaccines have been around for ages. Maybe it's measles or something. Maybe it's polio. I think it could be the polio vaccine. It's one of those. It's one of those well-established vaccines that have been around, and conditions we're trying to avoid folks from resurging into our population. Just FYI on that. But it's can be pretty expensive. That's the irony. At least I checked it out, and the place I went to was actually almost $300-400 to do it, and I was like, we'll wait until our dear person has insurance, and go through that way, right? So that's the experience. I mean, either experienced by me firsthand or by secondhand accounts. But it works. It takes time. Use the information as you see fit. But I think, quite frankly, as someone, even though we're about re-engaging in Haiti, moving back to Haiti, doing stuff in Haiti, I think, listen, I don't. one could argue there's a massive brain drain happening right now, but I'm not going to force any Haitian right now, and given the way Haiti is, to stay in Haiti right now. My thing is, if you can leave Haiti, try to come back. Try to come back when you're established, when you've had your family growing up here. If you can invest. Do well for yourself while you're here. Come here on a man. Be a man on a mission while you're in America to do well for yourself, and then be able to go back and re-engage. Right, build your community where you are, and so you can build a community back in Haiti. Right. Let me answer some questions, and then we're gonna get Sammy on. Let me see. I saw some questions here. Morning. Do you know? Oh, castor oil is back. We'll be back on the site. So the castor oil is sold wholesale. It's sold wholesale. We sell that wholesale. We don't sell on the site. But if you're interested, you can visit hyperdistribution.com, and then we'll have a conversation. SeeJeanty, 10 Haïtiens a fait même gens ou fait SeeJeanty ou pour chaque ville, toute diaspora envie de sur Haïti. Merci beaucoup. Merci frère. Joshua Jean, my man Chris on the live. Let's see back at it. Book 108. Okay, thank you, my dear. My dear friend. Dear friend, thank you, brother. I was looking for questions though. Let's see. I think I saw some stuff in IG. Let's scroll up. So if there's any questions. Some banks may take months to give you history of your bank info due to them working with a third party. That's terrible. That's terrible. Chase, I can Chase. I walked in right in Chase, and the teller took care of it for me. The teller was like, "Yeah, I got you." Printing out, signed it, and gave it to me. It took less than 5 minutes. Listen, if your bank is bullshitting with you and can't get you a simple thing like a statement, an average statement, I mean, you need to change banks. I mean, I don't know what kind of 7-Eleven banks. I know TD Bank's pretty terrible. I always know TD Bank people out here, but your TD Bank probably should change. I just personally, I've seen TD Bank be terrible. My mortgage is with them, by the way, so I don't personally. It's like their system is so bad. But that's a good check. If your bank can't give you a statement as quickly as Chase, you need to change banks. I mean, what kind of popcorn bank is that? You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got here. Letter from your job. Depends on income. And no questions. I applied for my people since the 128 and have got a response. I hope some of the advice I gave you, Theodard, helps, something to consider. Maybe that second sponsor, Do you think they're really going to go back after? So that's a great. Do you think folks are going to go back after 2 years? Well, my personal thought, listen, it doesn't matter what the program is, what it is. Any requirement in society is only as good as how well you enforce it, right? And so ultimately, how if it's Biden who's in office, or if it's a Republican, how they enforce that is ultimately going to be the deciding factor of whether or not people actually go back. If it's not enforced, right? If it's just a very stern email, hey, you need to go back. Chances are, okay, not a lot of people are going to go back. But if they're doing something where they literally, you have an ICE agent literally knocking on the door of you as a sponsor and saying, yeah, we're here. CHIV. Today's the date. Let's go. I'm not saying it's gonna be that like Kryptonian, where folks, government agents are showing up to your door to, like, remember back in the day in Florida, the Gonzalez, Dillian Gonzalez, remember a little kid who the government came to the house of the father or the parents and took him back to Cuba. You remember that? Remember that story? I don't remember. You can remember his name. Was Dillian Gonzalez or something? Jillian Gonzalez. I don't think it's gonna be like that, right? But it could be, right? So that's my own response. I mean, when Sammy comes on, we'll ask what he thinks about it. But Any rule in law is only as good as the enforcement of that rule in law. So we're gonna see what the government does, at that time, or if something else, if they completely just change it completely and they give a pathway to citizenship or residency, that could happen too. I know a lot of activists, a lot of people. In fact, Pastor Gregory, when he did his massive march the other day, a big part of why he was doing it was to get folks a more permanent path, right? To make the parolee program permanent. So it could happen, right? So unless they apply for another path, marry. Oh yeah, that's true. They can get married, right? That path exists right now, right? If they get married, so okay, but Phil, thanks, Phil, for providing that. Thank you, Phil. Much appreciated. Alien Gonzalez, that's right. Alien Gonzalez. That was his name. Alien Gonzalez. Yeah. Thanks for that. So the person get married, but again, in that part of that marriage process, taking public assistance, it all becomes relevant. So just keep that in mind. If it's hard to turn down $800. It's hard to turn down, public health care. It's hard to turn down food stamps. But just understand, there's real implications. And hell, and if attorneys are telling you not to do it, you probably should listen to attorneys. Don't be blind by the greed. All right. So with all that said, thank you for the questions and thank you for the questions, folks. Without further ado, I want to welcome someone who I consider Sammy a friend. He's known him for quite some time, and he's been doing some really great stuff even before this. Very active and engaged in the Haitian community. In fact, he's a high up member in the NAAHP, and recently he's doing some really great stuff with Biden applicants. Even before Biden applicant became a thing, he was helping. When a lot of folks were seeing, the Mexican, these Haitians coming through Mexico along the Mexican border being whipped by border patrols on horseback. I mean, come on. I mean, a lot of us got mad, but my boy Sammy did something about it. You can get mad, you can get on the keyboard and type, but what are you doing about it? That's the question, right? And my boy Sammy said, you know what? I'm gonna build a company that's gonna help these guys when they transition here, get work, find steady employment, and give them the dignity that they deserve. And he started this company, and since then he's also transitioned, and now he's doing stuff where he's helping en masse connect Biden applicants who have their work authorization, with employers. And in fact, he's doing job fairs, guys. In fact, there's one upcoming, which he's going to talk about. Without further ado, Sammy.
Yes.
What's up, man?
What's up? For some reason, it's been lagging, so I don't know if I'm lagging, but you let me know if you hear me. And yeah, but I've been watching the show. But I definitely appreciate the opportunity to come on the show, Chris. What you've been doing, has been instrumental and great, towards the Haitian community, Haitian American community, and the Haitian community. And I'm just happy to continue to see your persistence in what you got going on. And I'm excited to, share what I got going on for the Haitian community as a whole. So thank you.
I'm trying to get the IG folks get on this. I'm trying to see what I can do here to help the IG folks a bit. Maybe that's good. At the same time, I don't want to block. Well, we go. Hey, how about you guys on IG? Y'all go to SeeJeanty on YouTube or Facebook. This is the best I can do for you guys right here, guys. This is the best I can do. Boom. So, and I'll think about probably a slightly cleaner way to do this. But yeah, Sammy, listen. Happy to have you on this Sunday. Sorry for being a little behind on the schedule. My apologies, but I'm not going to take away anything from what you got going on. And by the way, I do hear a little bit of a feedback.
You hear a feedback?
You might want to think about putting a head. Do you have a headphone?
Yes,
are we'll give Sammy a minute. And Sammy, the name of his company is Jobs for Us. Jobs for Us, right? Harkens back to the days of FUBU. And let's see if that helps. Hopefully that's not my side, but that hopefully that does help a little bit.
Is it better?
Test.
Is it better?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not hearing the feedback. All right, sounds good. So Sammy, man, where do we start, Sammy? I guess let's start from the beginning. Where were you born? And tell us about growing up, and being Haitian.
Yes. So, they call me, my full name is Sammy Lammy. It does rhyme. They call me Sammy Lammy from Miami. Born in Little Haiti too, at Sable Palm. If anyone knows, that's where a lot of the Haitians were. My parents came to America in the 80s with that whole immigration pilgrimage at that time. So they were part of that crew, the boat people, as they like to call them. And so just grew up through the whole Haitian community in South Florida, whether it was going to church, going to my parents' house to go drop their money off at Esul, getting some, riding the jitney. So just getting that, that real in America, but, really feeling, getting that Haitian kind of a feel outside of the country, just that, being a part of that community. So, went to school through all through Miami, then had to graduated high school down here, then had the opportunity to go to Tallahassee, like a lot of Haitians do, from Miami, whether we go to Florida State or FAMU. I went to FAMU, and it was an amazing experience there. Was able to get my bachelor's degrees in accounting, but always still connected, being a part of Haitian family, always being connected. Haitian family members coming to the States, my mom, my late mother at now, being, the kind of the key hog as when the Haitians come into America, she just had a system where it's, okay, she had a connection with the agriculture people. She had a connection with the radio. She had a connection with the pastor. So when Haitians came in, our family members came, it was like within 3 to 6 months, they were a part of the community, whether they had a job, whether they had a church home, they just were implemented the way Haitians. So it's a special way that, Haitian, when you come from here, there's a special way that you have to, special, pathway to be able to, have that smooth transition. And it is there. It normally starts by, finding a church home, and then, that community helps you get, wherever. But now I'm coming to where you don't necessarily have to find a church home, whereas we, our agency has the resources. We've collaborated with all the, resources that are out there to be able to create kind of like a one-stop shop. Whereas when you do come in, everything, all your resources are readily available. So you're not searching, you're not in the air. Like, for example, I heard you said the stuff about food stamps and how that will affect your path to citizenship. That is, honestly, that's not true. You know what I mean? It will not. I understand that it's, you just see a lawyer say it, and that's been in our community for so long. You know what I mean? That if you get, benefits, that it will affect your chance to legal pathway. Even when you just said, in 2 years they'll send you back. They said that about the TPS people back in 13, 14, when they came in. They're going to send you back, and they're still here. So it's like, even rooting out these fears. So, when we come here as a community to be able to, go for the American dream, those things, that's why, Jobs for Us was created. And that's why that was created. And more
so it's interesting that even as your family, you had your mother was someone who was helping bridge help assist with transitions, from Haiti. I mean, talk about that, because it sounds like you were born here. Your parents came
Yes.
not relatively recent between when you were born. Were you the first, or did you have
No.
other siblings who were born in Haiti?
No. So me and all my siblings were born in the States.
Okay.
Now my father, he's the 5th child of 9 kids, where that the idea of coming here and figuring it out, that was already kind of etched out for him. So by the time he came out, he knew what they do based on his older brothers back in the 80s.
So when your parents came, did they also get that sort of, did they get assistance? Like, what did they tell you about that? Was it difficult for them to sort of get their feet together, or was it just because of Little Haiti being Little Haiti? Maybe it was especially back then, it was a much more smaller knit community. Maybe as soon as you land, maybe just inherently because you're around other Haitians, there's just opportunities. Do you know how it was for folks at the time?
Yes. Miami, of course, it was a much different country, and immigration has always been a problem in the States. Now, I remember around that time, the Cuban immigration issue was really the big at that time, and Haitians were kind of like behind that, following that. But when they got here, my mom said when she got here, she was able to be employed within like a month. She was living with, she came in, they all got, they get pregnant within a year of coming. I guess that, because whatever fears there was in at that time. So she said she came in, it was my uncle and his wife. It was like 3 of them in one bedroom in Little Haiti, where it is today called the Zion District. Crazy. But so it was the 3 of them, and they were all working. And they said the landlord was okay with it. The landlord knew what was happening. And so, but again, it was the community of, going to church. And once you go to church every Sunday, being in that environment, you have a group of people there to help you.
Do you think you have a post on this, given your company, which we're going to dive deep in a moment, but do you think that's changed? Do you think that's still the case where folks coming in, is there a, of course, the sponsor's supposed to be that, but from a community perspective that existed back during the boat exodus, do you think that community still exists?
So the thing is, when you look at, it's 2 different, like today's program, they're coming from all over Haiti. When you look at the boat people, it was situated concentrated in one part of Haiti. That was in Port-de-Paix.
Okay.
So if you look at, the boat people, I would say probably 6 to 7 out of 10 of them at that time came from Port-de-Paix. So they came from the north part of that was the people that was really partaking at those times. So I think today, and I'm seeing today in the client intake, they're coming from all over Haiti.
Interesting.
So you know what I mean? So I think that's different. I think that's a little bit different, where it was more, it was more like in Port-de-Paix or wherever part they knew, when we get here, call this number. This is the boatman that's taking us. This is this.
So from the very beginning, the sense of community already started even before they came over.
Correct. Pastors, a lot of our churches to this day still partake, in some of these, migrations. So in these churches. So
So now, one thing before you even started this company, you were always involved with the Haitian community. Talk about that. Talk about that involvement. I know you were a part of the NAAHP. Were you part of any other organizations? Talk about your involvement, your long history involvement with the Haitian community, and what has driven that desire to be so integrated, so involved. Because a lot of folks I know, they go to May 15th or May 5th, Flag Day, throw their flags up. Yeah, I'm Haitian boy. And then what are they doing? Nada. So but you've been one of the few folks, man, long track record. Talk about that.
And it's crazy, Chris. I'm also that amongst my friend groups. I'm Haitian, so I have all the Haitian friends, and we go back and forth about Haiti in general. I think, me personally, when I found out the real history, that's what really got me really going. Because, growing up, Haitian Flag Day in school was good. And they just told us the history. Like, it was by word of mouth. But I think as Haitians, we should really go research the real history, even 1804. You know what I mean? If I put somebody and say, tell me, give me an hour what happened, like what's your idea of 1804? We're not gonna really know. We're not gonna know what happened in the 20 years prior to 1804. You know, all the uprisings that happened prior to that. You know, how Jamaica, Bookman from Jamaica was expelled, and inspired to some, how one of our founding fathers is Grenadian, came from Grenada. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like just to know all these Caribbean nations. Like, I just think the lack of us knowing the real history, which we know why the real history is not out there. I mean, but that lack is causing us to, think twice. Like, if I go on Google Images and I put Haiti, I'm going to see people fighting. If I put DR, I'm going to see beaches. But it's like, huh? You know what I mean? But so it's kind of like, so I'm passionate from a point where, because I know the real history of the country. Like, you know what I mean? You go on there, they ain't saying Christopher Columbus founded that nation. Nah, that's what they ain't saying that over there. You know what I mean? Although the history books that we read says it. You know what I mean? And I think that's really what's the issue. So when I learned the history, I understood that, yeah, this is my bloodline. This is what I do. And anything like a part of my purpose is to see how do I give back to the bloodline? How do I give back to the country anyway, and through my service? You know what I mean? So that's basically,
talk about that service. What have you been involved in, and how have you helped in what?
So my first, endeavor, to give back to Haiti was BOA NAAHP. A few years ago, it was my first. I just went as a young Haitian professional wanting to learn more about the country and how do I give back. And I attended, and I met a developer. I met a real estate developer that was working on a subdivision next to Tabar, next to the U.S. embassy. And I was like, man, I never knew that Haiti has real estate subdivision projects and stuff, and that inspired me. That told me, like, yeah, we could do, like, the diaspora, we could do more for our country if you got this guy taking an $80 million risk in this country building subdivision, so that's what really got me involved. Then I ran across your profile, saw what you was doing, and I was like, I reached out to you. Then anybody that was doing business, sending them your way, and then that's when I knew, like, we could build a real ecosystem, and our generation could be a generation to really, push Haiti to the next one. Then I went to NAAHP, met all the amazing Haitian professionals that are doing stuff on their end, from the young lady with Louis Mosquetti, Creole Essence young lady, to all these other great, I met the gentleman that has the drinking thing, so Shakun, the news. So it's just so many different businesses, and it's just like, man, only if this was really amplified, I feel that that sense of pride can come back to us, because Haitians are prideful people. We're very prideful people, prideful about our country. You know what I mean? So just the opportunity to let that be known and have more brains think about Haiti in that manner. And NAAHP does that. They really care about the country, really care about the advancing of the country, creating those relationships. So that's why I'm very much involved in that organization.
Fair enough. Good stuff. Now the company, walk us through that. It's in fact, when we talked recently, I was a little surprised about this company, because I know you weren't in this realm per se. We unfortunately, a long time we didn't chat, and so over a year plus. And so when you're talking about, I'm like, what are you talking about staffing? What are you talking about? What? When did this start? Right? Talk to us about that. Talk to us about why did you get into it as recently as you have? Is your professional background conducive to this transition, and talk about the impact you've had thus far since starting jobs for us?
Yes. So Jobs for Us was started last year, and again, it was based off what my late mom used to do. My mom could, the moment you get here, she could find you a job, and you're gonna be like, she could like, and I saw it firsthand all throughout my life. I saw it firsthand, and last year, of course, what was going on at the border and the Haitians. I don't know if you don't see the numbers in Chile. How many Haitians are in Chile? Probably zero. At one point, Chile had what 800,000
No,
Haitians.
you don't can't say zero. You think
From
all the
okay,
Asians left, bro?
I'm, damn near, Chris. I'm gonna just be real. At one point, Chile had the third most diaspora of Haitians outside of Haiti.
Interesting.
Third most at one point. Go look it up now. Probably not a lot because they done made their way here. They done made their way to the States. I totally understand, and I don't blame them. Now, so then I was like, man, when they get here, it's not going to be easy. It's not the same, world that we, you're not just and they're going into different communities now, Chris. If I go into the communities like Springfield, Ohio, parts of Texas, they are in these random places now. You know what I mean? So we were like, man, who's there to help our people that they're coming in. We see what the TV showing. We see them coming in horses and whipping them. And all he did was went to go get him a plate from Mexico because it was cheaper to buy some food in Mexico than it is in America. Right. That's all the man really wanted to do. You know what I mean? And he was the runner. That guy was the runner. Like, I'm gonna go across the border, get some more food, and bring it back to all of us. That's all he wasn't. You know what I mean? And that's all he was doing. Right. And so I was like, man. And at the time, there was like 11 million job openings at that time. So it's like, we have 11 million job openings. We have all of our people coming in. And all they came here was for a better life. They didn't come here to sell no drugs. They didn't come here to rob people. They came here for a better life. Right. So it's like, they came here to work. So how do we bring them together? So, I'm very close with one of the lone U.S. Congresswoman, Sheila McCormick Sherfilis. Okay. So and she's in our district, Chris. Yep. So we've had many conversations the past years, and she actually sits on the Haiti community, the Haitian community at Biden level. So she sits in the committee that goes the delegations and stuff. So we were just going back and forth, and she mentioned it that the Haitians are coming in. There's a large influx of numbers. So we were just talking about just this job agency and how to get them implemented in jobs. And then I started locally. So it just started with, let me just go on a radio station and see how many people need jobs. So I went on a radio station. So many people, Chris, called me and said, yes, I need a job. I've been here 3, 4, 5 months. I sit at home all day. Help me find a job. So then I got an influx of them. So then I was like, okay, so where are these job openings? So I started, reaching out to these employers to say, hey, what's going on? You have 1 million job openings. How can I help? And that's where it started. So it started with, one manufacturer saying, hey, I need help. And then, it's just increasing and increasing and increasing. So now I do have relationships, with, manufacturers, wholesale grocers. I'm finalizing with the school district now, to be able to create a pathway where, focus on, the Haitian, Biden humanitarian TPS and asylum seekers, so people that did come from Mexico, the people that did cross the border, and helping them, find an equitable pathway of employment, so that's basically where we at today. And and
you're doing even more stuff, right? You're doing job fairs, right? You've done some in the past. You're going to be doing one talking about that.
So we have a relationship with the local workforce career source, whereas I was able to tell them what we got going on and how through our relationship we're able to work with them to host job fairs. So we had an opportunity to host a job fair with the city of Wapalaka and the career source. It was a construction job fair. And, through the list of our clients, I was able to invite people who've done work in construction back in Haiti, and they were getting jobs on the spot. So they were coming in. You know, I would go speak to the interviewer first for the first 5-10 minutes, let him know what I'm doing. And he's like, it's amazing. Let me see all your guys. Send me more guys. So, you know, just the work out of cause, being able to express that to employers, they love it. And that is, you know, creating a special little pathway for us to get our, you know, candidates in front of these employers. So the job fair, we got many people hired. We got garage installers were hired. I'm working with another gentleman who is a Haitian guy who has, you know, the largest window company for a Haitian man in South Florida. He says he's looking for guys. So the jobs are out there. There's 8.8 million jobs out there in America. So just want to, you know, make sure that, you know, the 8,500 that's coming a month are taking advantage of those jobs. And that's basically what we're doing here.
Yeah, I should have told you I was literally like 2 days ago. What was it? Yeah, 2 days ago. I put a major deposit down for my windows for my home to be changed. Wow. I wish I knew. I would have got a quote from your guy. You know, I like that, and I look for. You know, I always try to, you know, keep my money within the community. I look for Haitians. I didn't see any.
Yes, so SeeJeanty, Mr. Lozama.
Okay, well, next time. Yeah. Okay, so you're doing some impact, doing major impact. How many folks do you think, since you started until now, how many folks have you employed, do you think?
So we employed about 20 people in various roles. Right now, we just got a one of our biggest contracts in company history, which is the best job that I have right now. It's a warehouse selector role, and they're $21 an hour. And this is, you know, relocation. You have to relocate, but they're helping with housing, transportation. You know, they even kind of help with food, but I don't know the details into that. But I do know housing and transportation, and they're paying $21 an hour, and they pay weekly.
Wow.
You know, and they are looking for Haitians in the Biden humanitarian program, TPS, or asylum seekers, meaning people who came from Mexico. And what's great about this, I know you mentioned earlier, you know, they have to send you back after 2 years. Mm-hmm. If you work with this company, you will be fine, because you'll be working with them. And if anything, they could put you in the EB3 visa program. You know, so EB3 visa is another visa. It's not the EB, it's another visa for, you know, Haitians. So great opportunity.
Incredible opportunities indeed. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I let's talk about the larger implications, right? Where, you know, that would be a concern of mine. If I am an employer, and, you know, I invest heavily in these folks, they're doing a great job, and now literally 2 years to the date, 2025, oh crap, you know, they lose their. Let's say they're not sent back, but do they? You know, would they lose their capacity to work legally? For example, would their social, I don't know if socials expire, but would they lose their work authorization capacity? There's other ways to necessarily make it difficult for somebody to be here, right? And me as an employer, a lot of times they'll come after me as an employer. So you know, do you think, it sounds like obviously you answered already, you feel strongly that this is going to be another TPS, things are going to be allowed to, you know, to go and roll. I think so too. But that's assuming a Republican, so a Democrat stays in office. A Republican comes in, you know, imagine Trump wins somehow again, right? Or Trump acolyte, which is basically every Republican right now running for office. They're going to blow this up, right? And so how do you? Let's talk worst case scenarios here, right? You know, is the worst case scenario very likely? And then what is it? And how do we move forward for the families involved, for the employers involved? How does that look like?
Okay, so you know, worst case scenario is they do send you back. We know that. You know, and I'm not an immigration lawyer, so I can't speak too much on immigration. I can just talk about the history of immigration in this country and what we saw. And I'm just doing it based off the history. So it's twofold. Okay. You know, and you mentioned these business owners. So let's say, you know, these businesses have, let's say, you know, 2 million people are at risk of being sent back.
Yeah.
That 2 million on our business economic infrastructure, that will hurt us. Like that would hurt. Like businesses can't just lose 2 million people in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an economical thing. And when it comes to immigration, these businesses are actually very, very pro immigration, but it's very silently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because why? Because we have 8.8 million job openings. And, you know, right now we have 2 jobs for every 1 American. So it's like, it's not good for business. So it's an economical standpoint. So I know, you know, one side is saying, oh, these immigrants are good, but these business owners, like the top Fortune 500, especially these manufacturers that has these low skilled, low wage jobs, they're like, leave these borders open, like leave them open and let them come get these jobs, because it's not good for business. If I'm a large facilities management company and I don't have the manpower to manage these 10 large hospitals, I'm going to lose that contract. And the reason why I can't manage it is because I don't have the labor. You know what I mean? So it's the reason why I don't believe it's going to go away is because it's a big problem at the manufacturer level, the travel and leisure level, the warehouse level. We really have big labor shortage in America right now. And the only thing that we believe that we can solve it is by keeping our borders open and having people from outside, you know, get these jobs, because it's just hard to find an American citizen to, you know, take a very, very labor intensive job in a warehouse, you know, moving 1,500 packages a day. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not that a lot of folks say, well, pay them more, but it's not even the pay, right? It's the American, like Native American. I said Native Americans,
citizens, yeah,
U.S. citizens, don't want to work these jobs. You know, they don't want to work these.
We saw that after the pandemic. We saw it after the pandemic. Nobody went back to work.
Folks want exactly. They want remote work. They want to work
remote
from
work,
home, right?
Home.
So,
Home.
but yet we still have a necessity for in physical labor, and this is where I think you're making me realize something. I think, maybe some of our audience, there is a tremendous gap indeed between how Americans want to work and then the necessity of the economy. And in fact, my goodness, I mean, is this not a brilliant move, perhaps, by the Biden program, by the Biden administration, to avoid an incredible crisis? Remember, folks can always say, listen, no one does stuff at the good of their hearts politically, right? There's always an underlying necessity to do good, right, for a group that isn't, the main voting group, right? Unless it's to influence the voting group. And I'd never considered they saw, because they're on the heart of the statistics, the stats. They're talking with business leaders every day. The business leaders they're donating, right? And they're saying, yo, listen, Biden, U.S. commerce, we're having a crisis on our hands. We don't have employees. No one wants to come back. What do we do? And that's when they turn that knob and say, you know what? Let's allow Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Haiti,
Afghanistan,
and work.
Ukraine. I mean, I could keep going. We just hear about these 4 countries.
Oh, Ukraine, you are Ukraine,
going.
Right?
Like now that I'm in this space, not out of this space, alone, man. I'm understanding immigration. I'm understanding immigration now that I'm in this space. And we just hear about these 4 Latin American countries.
The dots,
and
Sammy. Connecting the dots, man.
You know what I mean? You're connecting it. You're connecting it. And what's next? I'm gonna tell you what's next. And I'm actually going to go to DC to push for it. Is we're going to talk to DC about incentivizing employers to hire refugees by way of tax credits. So if you hire a new citizen, which is someone who came in within the last 5 years, you get a $1,500 tax credit. So these large companies with, let's say 1,000 job openings could essentially offset their training cost by way of this tax credit. So a lot of these things are still in the work, but that's what I'm saying this to ease the fears, meaning things are being done on the background to protect immigrants and migrants. As we saw, Elon Musk just got sued for the lack of hiring, refugees by the United States Department of Labor. So, I just want to bring down the fears. We're Haitian, so we're very superstitious. I understand, but I'm here to say it will be fine. Let's get to work. Let's build this generational wealth. Let's help our families, make sure our youngers are in school, and let's really build our community. And I think, moving in the future, the next 50 years, as a community, we'll be in a much better place. And I really believe that.
I love it. I love it, Sammy. I think that's a good way to transition out. And I think certainly there is a lot of hope right now, despite Haiti being in the circumstance it is. I think there's been a failure within Haiti to build up the middle class, and thus that failure has disabled the capacity for Haiti to still stand on its feet. I think what's happening right now in the diaspora, with so many folks from so many different backgrounds leaving and you get a chance to live, because to be able to live is to be economically self-sufficient. I think we're going to see it, but yet, what I think, I don't know. I'm Haitian, so I can't speak to any other group of people, but I feel like Haitians are unique in how much, as a percentage of our group of people, we love our country, we love our land. We desperately want Haiti to be better than what it is, and I think what's going to happen is we are going to see a resurgence in the capacity of this new external middle class to finally impact some positive chain of events to get the country to function appropriately. And I think a big part of that too, I know there's certain political actors pushing for a diaspora vote, like Jeanty, and there's even in the new constitution, there was supposed to be a diaspora representative, elected diaspora. It's very similar to how Dominican Republic has it, by the way. Dominican Republic has a diaspora representative, not just one, but a few, and folks are able to vote in Brooklyn and New York and different places and have actual representation in their country. I think Haiti is going to have that, and I think when Haiti has that, with the mass of people who are looking to be involved, it's gonna be a game changer. It's gonna be a game changer. And I think in what you're doing right now, helping folks become that, getting that economic sufficiency, is fantastic. Do you feel that the jobs are indeed good jobs? I mean, do you really, what I mean? You're on the inside. The money's good, but are the benefits good? Like, do you feel these jobs are, they're labor intensive? Okay. Yeah. That's going to be, maybe undesirable perhaps on us as Americans, but do you personally feel these are good jobs? Because I hate to have our brothers and sisters going into, a level above slave shops or what do you call that? What do you call those heat shops? Or, I'm talking about this,
sweatshops.
Sweatshops. Thank you. Sweatshops.
Yeah. To answer your question, yes, these jobs are good jobs. As I said, like, for example, I'm about to, finalize a deal with the school department, so we're going to have people feeding kids. I mean, it's not, you're working for a school. So I'm working with institutions. I'm not working with the typical mom and pops. So yes, they come with benefits. They come with the vacation. And the reason why I love the employees that I work with, because it's a great way to start your American employment career. You go do 2 years. I'm receiving people with educational backgrounds, like they have degrees back in Haiti. So it's like, you do this for 2 years. That's the work experience you need. That's easily transferable to an office job or this. So it's a good start. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the roles that they're very good starts, and they're good companies or good institutions that care about, the employees that's been around. So I think that's the most important. And I'm not looking for like jobs. I'm looking for jobs that are easy. Like, I'm thinking about, our people, I'm thinking for them before I just go find something. Gotcha. So I'm actually going and that's and having these conversations and seeing how these employers feel about Haitians. Like, this is what I got going on. Are you okay with it? Are you willing to help? So it's I'm just not throwing them into a fire. It's really, like the relations, this job fair, that they know like it's going to be Haitians at this job fair. They came from Haiti. This is what's going on in our country. I even spoke to one nonprofit and on the anniversary of Jovenel's death the other day and say, hey, you guys need to do more. It's 2 years since this has happened. The country still doesn't have a president. Like, I'm really coming at these people.
I love it. I love
yes.
it. All right, Sammy, leave your contact information. Is it jobsforus.com?
It's jobsforusfl.com. Yes, and it's jobs.
The four is the number 4, right?
Yes, the number 4. Jobs, the number 4. usfl.com. The job fair is October the
I think I spelled 6th. It wrong. Is that coming up for me? Jobs,
JOBS, the number 4, usfl.com.
Yeah, it's not coming up for me, man. My internet's wrong. Is it down?
Let me put it on the chat for you.
Yeah. Let me see.
Okay, so it's right here. So let me
put it jobsforyou.org.
It up for you.
Wait, I put job. Oh, I put job. I didn't put the N word. I didn't put S in there. My bad. Jobs for us. I put the S.
Yes, so
there we go. There we go.
For us.
Yep. I got it. And what I would do too. I want to go ahead and share that tab really quick. So folks can kind of take a look at the website while we're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the website right here. Take a look. We have some folks here. Chairwoman who's
she's
a part of the company. Okay.
Yep, that's my sister. She helps me out with everything that we do.
Awesome.
The things that we do, and as I said, most of the stuff that we do is really and I tell people, if you call Jobs for Us, you will leave learning something new about whether it's the immigration process, whether it's the food stamps that you asked about earlier. I have a lot of people that don't have the $410 to apply for the EAD, the work permit. Well, I can refer you to a resource that can potentially waive the $410. I have people that come from Mexico who don't have an ID. I can refer you to the immigration clinic that will give you a local ID. And with the local ID, you can go get you a 1099 job. So it's like, it's just so many, resources. And another thing is, like, we're just one group of immigrants that are coming in. You have the Cuban immigrants coming in, you have the Venezuelan, you have the Nicaraguan, you got the Honduran. And their implementation, when they get here, they hit the ground running. And we just have to do that for the Haitians. When they get here, they hit the ground running. You see, Chris, you see how much money we give back to Haiti via remittance. Billions. So you think, and that's exactly what Haitian Biden humanitarian parolees are going to come and do. The moment they get money, they're paying for a school back in Haiti. They're paying for their wife back in Haiti, husband. So it's not even only helping our local economy, but it's also helping the country. So it's bigger than that. It's generational.
I agree.
Generational. So that's why this work is super, super important. And it's all of us. I even put it on the sponsors. Hey, sponsor, you know how to go on Indeed.com. You know how to go on Craigslist. Come on, help your people out. You know what I mean? That's what it takes. It takes that type of intentions. You know what I mean? And we're a group. We're a resilient group of people. I feel like even in South Florida, the Haitian community, it's much larger than it was when I was younger. Now I can go. It's not only Little Haiti. I can go to North Miami. I can go to Tamarack. I can go to Lauderdale Lakes. I can go to Hollywood. So many pockets. I can go to Palm Beach. We're really growing right now, like as a community, as diaspora. So let's add some structure to it. Let's add a more community to it for the people. So
I love it. I love it. And so these are some of the programs you offer: temporary staffing, temp to perm staffing, permanent staffing,
yes.
recruitment, and employment management. So if you're watching this right now and you need any of these services, jobsforus.com is RFL is who you need. And say if I'm an employee, employee or someone looking for work, would I come to the website? Let me see, find opportunities. Is this
Well, no, yeah. It's just, this is just a storefront. You have to call the number. Call the
okay? Call the number.
agency.
That's the main thing. Let me
That right
grab
here,
that. Let me grab
305
and the email
723.
too. The email's good.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
I'm gonna grab
And
these two.
yep. And we're growing. So office space coming next month is going to be in Miami. So that's next. We actually
drop
had
the info right there, right?
Yep.
Drop the info right there, and
Yep.
if you have family that's looking for work, send an email call that number, and Sammy or his sister or anyone in staff will respond to get them. What's the turnaround? What's the turnaround typically for someone who does get work? How long from the time they apply to when they start their job? Is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks? How quickly are you getting
the
folks
warehouse job right now, which is the best one I have? It's about 6 weeks because, as I said, it's relocation.
Yeah.
So you have to be relocated. They have to find you a house. The school district right now, that is, we're still working right now. Now, what I do on the side is once you give me your address, as I said, I'm going on Craigslist or going on Indeed for you. So that's the type of, work that we're doing, like the type of personalization that we're doing, because we're not going to find a job more than 5 miles away from I know you don't have a car. I know the transportation. So I'm not, if it's more than five miles, which is, 15 to 20 minutes, I'm not going to even, so we're so personalized. The moment you give me your address, we're looking for jobs in a 5 mile radius because we know the job market so well. There's most likely a job opening within 5 miles of where you're at in South Florida from Palm Beach down.
Now, I can't let you go without asking this question because obviously you're not not for profit. You're for profit.
We are for profit.
Who's where are you getting your revenue from? Is it from the people applying, or is it from the employers? How does that work?
So we operate as our business unit is like a staffing agency. So we never charge the employee. We only charge the employer. Never.
But good to hear you.
Never. So the way it works, we never charge the employee ever. We only charge. Our agreement is with the employer and the employer only.
Yeah, because the employer is the one that has the money, so charge them.
I mean, we're dealing with potentially Miami-Dade Public Schools. They just got a $12 billion budget. It's like, and they have 700 job openings. Like, come on.
Right.
I'm sure all my, Biden, I can find a school not far from you, and hey, so yeah. And it comes with benefits.
Sammy, listen, I want to thank you, sir. It's folks like you who, you inspire me. You encourage me. I know I'm doing a lot, but then connecting with folks like you, that's why I tell folks all the time. Like, I don't have any lack of lessening of hope for our country and our people, despite the fact that they're trying to put BBQ and they're trying to put, and Lapli, what's his name? Lapli, Sundomi, whatever the hell his name is. Whatever his name is. They're trying to put these things, on common people, these things in front of us.
Guns that was made in the last 3 months.
Meanwhile, we got folks like Sammy doing real work. You should be on CNN. You should be on Fox News talking about what you're doing. But that doesn't serve the purpose and the narrative. But guess what? I'm glad we have this channel here. I'm glad for the folks who watched from the beginning to the end. Right now, we got over 30 plus folks watching the live right now, combined with Instagram as well. And that's 30 more people who don't have the will over their eyes. They don't have the shades over their eyes. They see that. Oh, wait a minute, there is hope out there. And most dangerously, the power is in your hands, right? It's in their hands. Because Sam didn't wait around for a president in Haiti or some new leader to come. Sammy said, "I'm doing this. I can do it." But Sammy doesn't necessarily come from staffing. Yes, his mom used to do it, but he didn't necessarily have a background in staff. But he said, "You know what? I see the opportunity. I see the need. I'm gonna do it because it has to be done, right? Sammy, sir, thank you so much for being an example for everyone here, watching in the community, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chris, man. Thank you, everyone.
No problem. And again, the info is on the screen. Reach out to Sammy. Reach out to his firm. May you be an employer. May you have bid applicants in your family that need work, or as you come across them. Please keep Sammy's company in mind. He's doing great work, and let's empower our community. Let's do good stuff. And Sammy, thanks again for your for your time this Sunday. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
All right, peace. So that was Sammy with Jobs for Us. His information is still on screen here, info@jobsforus.com, or the number, give him a call. And again, I it was just fortuitous that I knew I wanted to do some, spend some time talking about the Biden program. And then just last week, chance conversation, and he was giving me an update. And I'm like, man, we got to get you on. I got to get you on, get you talking about what you're doing, because it's fantastic and you're doing some great work. And you're really, because right now, before, when I first was talking about the Biden program, I was like, okay, here's the information, here's what could happen. Now on the other side, where I have folks who've come through. Some folks who are watching now who got folks who come through. Other folks soon, knock on wood. I know I saw some folks, man, I applied since the 28th, and folks still haven't come through yet. Listen, keep that hope. Keep that hope. It's going to happen real soon, right? And when it happens, what's next? And somebody like Sammy and his company would be a tremendous help and tremendous amount of assistance. So, do reach out when you're ready for that level of assistance. So, guys, this is what we do at SeeJeanty. We have a different type of conversation. We have a different type of energy here. No one's doing what we're doing, right? And I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing until I become as common as copycats of Mr. Beast. Seems like every other channel is doing a Mr. Beast copycat. I want copycats left and right? Because that means we're doing a deeper type of conversation. We have a deeper understanding of how we change and improve, and what needs to be done and what works, what's guaranteed to work. Because it's what we're doing right now is going to be guaranteed to move the needle, right? It isn't talking politics. It's not doing triple guy, right? It's not looking for the sensationalism. I like my Haitian music. I love HMI, but it's not, giving these guys more platforms. They have significantly a lot. It's having these real conversations with actioneers, doers, and evolving topics that really do matter for us in the diaspora, looking to impact and looking to do different things. I got some other things I'm cooking up. I'm doing an episode on Kenya that is going to be very good, I hope, in terms of helping us understand how their impact and how they're coming. I'm going to do something else for the Biden program. So the live was helpful and was good, but I want to do something a little more post-produced, and that's coming as well. So look out for that, and just in general, look out for just more content, more informative content, more current event topical content. While we're here in Haiti, in the States, and of course, we'll be right back. 2025, I'm looking to be 2024, looking to be back in country, on the ground, doing fantastic work, highlighting incredible movers and shakers. I also want to do. I'm in talks right now. I had some folks reach out to me. They're really interested about the canal that's being built along the Massacre River. I am in talks right now. I'm vetting some folks on the ground who, because I don't want to say, hey guys, this is someone to support, without really doing my due diligence to make sure the money is going to be used the way it's supposed to, right? I mean, you can never be 100% due diligent, but I want to be as diligent as possible. But so look out for that. Make sure you're following on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. For when I do share. I believe I have someone who is reputable to donate to. So look out for that. And yeah, beyond that, listen, you have the links from the top of the hour. You have, where to go for Amazon and all the stuff we're selling here, all this stuff over here. You see that? All this from the Gishela, the cassava. Put the cassava up a little higher. The cassava, right? The boule chocolat, the jonjon, right? The black castor oil. Go ahead and just, I'm gonna drop that link there. Boom. Amazon.com/shops/high-pro. We're gonna do check out SeeJeanty.com/shops. Right. I'm gonna drop that link as well. That's another place where you can get not only a lot of these, but also this book. Okay. We're talking about 101 ways to start a business in Haiti. All right. So that's there as well. And of course, do think about supporting what we have going on here, because a lot of the stuff that's allowed us to be consistent, especially when we're in Haiti, because we, despite not being there, I still have my staff, still working, still producing content, weekly, and it's the private WhatsApp group, and it's SeeJeanty.com/private WhatsApp group. You'll see it in terms of the contact us on the page. Become a member, join. We have an active chat. Whatever you're trying to do, come. We are very involved in helping each other with information and other support. So come and be a part of the private WhatsApp channel. I'm in there. For those who want to be able to correspond and piggyback on some of the experiences and things I've done, I'm in there. I'm communicating all the time in there. So please do come in. Certainly love to have you in the chat. And beyond that, hyperdistribution.com. We're doing some really incredible stuff, building weekly containers come out of Haiti with products just like that. And we can see the impact, we're seeing the change, and we're winning. When I say winning, the folks who are part of this, providing employment, and heck, even this year we're looking to sniff around some dividends. but for you to plug into this, if your store, you want products at a wholesale level, do visit hyperdistribution.com. Love to work with you from a client perspective. So that's the show. I appreciate you watching. We'll be back, knock on wood, next Sunday. I can't, no promises, guys. I just told you my wife is very much 9 months. So there's a very significant chance, I may be gone for a couple of weeks at any moment now, but if I can be here, I will be here. But I do, and I already have a fantastic guest lined up. A guy who's doing fantastic work. A lot of you guys have had questions about real estate, right? Investing, buying land, right? And so I have somebody who has an incredible initiative that folks can invest in and be a part of, not only to get their own land, but also potentially get returns. So make sure next Sunday, 8 a.m., be here. Don't miss it. Put on your calendar. If I can't be here because of baby number 2, I'll make sure you find my Instagram and YouTube. I'll send a message saying, hey, we're not going to be on because your boy is with second child. But otherwise, expect the show next Sunday. Look forward to being there. And guys, as you know, we'll be back at it again when we're back at it again. Peace.